I'm on my latest pass through of the Piazza Venezia here on November 6th, 2018. I have taken some photos of the famous Mussolini balcony in the Piazza Venezia, the Palazzo Venezia, from which he gave his 60 plus speeches, the most famous among them, for example, declaring war. There's a military presence throughout the city at locations like this. And honestly, it's reassuring. I want them there in case some Muslim freak loses it. That way, the Imperial Fora. There's a glimpse of the Colosseum. And Vittoriano. This has to be the supreme nationalist monument in the world. As usual, I'm sure this camera is not adequately capturing the scope of what I'm looking at, but still, this will give an idea. One of the many collections of motorcycles and scooters to be seen throughout the city. I don't think I've ever seen so many motorcycles and scooters. I'm headed to my tram point, tram 8, which will take me back to the back across the Tiber through Trastevere, and back to my place in Monteverde Vecchio, right there. Oh. Even in French, the Novus Ordo service is wretched. I should say disservice. The disjunct between the grandeur of this church, San Crisogno, disjunct between this place and the wretched Novus Ordo is stark. It's really quite amazing that they have the nerve to do that. It reminds me of today. I went to the Borghese Gallery and they were having an exhibition of Picasso sculptures. Now this is amidst some of the greatest art ever produced: Bernini, Caravaggio, Raphael, etc. And in the midst of this were various Picasso sculptures. And they were just so incredibly miserable and stunted and degenerate. They were actually an assault on art. And it was abundantly clear. And it was very interesting. The people in the gallery seemed to at least intuitively know this, because no one was paying any attention to the wretched Picasso sculptures. All right, I'm on my way to St. Cecilia's Church. Here I am on the evening of November 6th, about to enter St. Cecilia's Church for the first time. I've come here twice before, but it was closed both times. But I see now, yes, the door is open. I have my reading material ready. I've looked at these ancient plates extensively on my first two visits. So I'll give them one last glance and then head inside. Okay, this is going to be my first view of the actual interior. I have it all to myself. I'm going to get a shot of the famous statue, and then I'm going to turn this off, open my guidebook, and take the tour of the church. I'm now entering the excavations below St. Cecilia's Church. I was told I have only 5 minutes, so I have to make it quick. St. Cecilia's was one of the early house churches, so I may well be looking at the remains of her home. This mosaic is almost 2,000 years old. St. Cecilia was wealthy, so this is a rather large house. I hate to have to rush through like this, but I don't have much time. I caught a glimpse over here of the crypts underneath the altar. I didn't know I was going to have access to this. Incredible. This is the book I'm using as I tour 51 of the churches here in Rome. It's been a great blessing to have found this book. It's been republished by Angelus Press. And here's what's said about the statue of St. Cecilia in her church. Beneath the altar is Stefano Maderno's statue of St. Cecilia. During Cardinal Sfondrati's remodeling of the Presbyterian crypt, 3 sarcophagi were discovered, 1599, beneath the main altar. These had been placed here by Paschal I in the 9th century. The cardinal had them opened for official recognition. One had a cypress box in which was the body of St. Cecilia, wrapped in a darkish silk veil, and beneath it was a dress of gold cloth stained with blood, which she was wearing when Paschal found the body in the cemetery of Callistus. Maderno, then 23 years old, was present at the opening of the sarcophagus and noted the position of the body, head, and hands. Later, 1600, he sculpted the statue exactly as he had seen the body. The second sarcophagus contained the bodies of Saint Valeria, etc., etc. The 2 gilded reliefs on the sides of the statue depict the 6 saints buried here. Before I came to Rome, I decided that I would be among the few remaining today who realize that they are children of God, that they are created in the image of God, and that they should present themselves accordingly. And so I've decided to, present myself like this. Nothing wild, nothing extravagant, just presentable, which today seems extravagant. So my new Chelsea boots, once they're broken in, I'm sure they'll be quite comfortable. It really is amazing to see how even the people of Italy and Rome, how they've embraced that chief American export of slop, slovenliness everywhere to be found here, even in Rome. And I'm talking about also tattoos, pitiful tattoos. Legions of people here in Rome having branded themselves like cattle with tattoos. Pitiful, pitiful. And this is part of the wages of having rejected God. They've become like animals, just like Americans. And so they willingly, at least cattle have to be forced to be branded with tattoos. But today's bovine minions willingly brand themselves with tattoos. It's very sad. I have to get over any rage I have about this and really understand just how pitiful, truly pitiful it is. Anyway, here's an example of the other things I've brought to wear here in Rome. Nothing extravagant, again, just presentable. Just presentable. A couple of sport coats, some sweaters. Just presentable. So yes, there still remain yet a few of us who refuse to accede to the race to the bottom.